G'day guys and welcome back to Jans_Gaming for another Dokkan Battle video. So for today's video here we're going to be going over the kits for the AGL Gogeta here, the physical Omega and then the STR Pan. What we'll be doing is quickly highlighting the key aspects of their passives, and from there we're going to talk about what are the best ways to build them in the hidden potential. Now I am recording this before they are out in game, so what I'll be doing is showcasing a unit of the same typing just to give you guys the look of how I would be building them at 79%. Obviously you can then go from there if you've got one dupe or whatnot. So we are going to be starting with the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and talking about how I would build him. So as you can see here from his super attack effect, he gets the 30% attack and then has the chance at the 50, and then on 18 key he has the attack and attack again. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be going additional for this guy, but like I imagine he's going to be putting up pretty insane offensive numbers. From his entrance animation, you can see that he has a guaranteed additional super there, and he's got crit for one turn, and he also gets attacks effective here, and most importantly he has a 50% baseline chance to crit. Now from that I do not see any reason to give this guy any extra crit. I think there is lots of more benefit to be putting your nodes into additional and dodge. He does have guard, but more importantly you can see another additional super attack here. After receiving 3 or more attacks in battle, yet another additional attack here, and then after receiving 7 you've got the guaranteed crit to work with. So again, really negates any type of need to have crit on his build. That's just going to give you nothing from where his passive is at. Now it might seem crazy because he is going to be so good defensively as well as being an offensive juggernaut, but what I am thinking is that a predominantly dodge heavy build is going to be really effective on this guy, with as well like a middling defensive build. So what we'll do now is we'll switch across in game and I'll show you what I'm thinking. So here we are in game and we're going with this AGL Blue Goku just to sort of showcase the hidden potential build that I would be rocking. So you can see down in the bottom right hand path here I've gone with the 2 additional nodes and the 2 dodge, and then in the top left here I've gone with the 2 dodge and the additional again. So this is going to because of the +5 additional here, it means that we do get up to 14 additional. That means we're going to have the multiple chances to proc that 28%. What I would then be doing is going with a defensive type skill orb in the bronze, which we'll get from the special battles at level 9. So I'd be throwing that one on there. Here I'd be looking at something pretty dodge, and I don't know what orbs we're going to be getting, but a dodge and additional would be very OP in this second slot here. And then from the special event I imagine we're also going to be getting more defensive orbs, so another dodge and additional would work really effective here. As we saw, he has a lot of raw stats as well as the damage reduction and guard, so that's really going to maximize that. If we're able to get this guy up to say like 16-17 additional with a lot of raw defense on him, I think this physical Gogeta is going to be really OP. So what we're going to do now is jump across to Omega. So here we are in the physical Omega stats here. Again, we're going to be looking at his kit and determining what is going to be the best strategy to work with here. So straight off the bat here, you can see defense on super attack, always a very impactful effect, and does tend to sort of point me towards the additional aspect of a unit. We also get that on his 18 key super there as well. For his passive here, he gives the allies the crit chance, not himself, so that's not worth noting there. But as we scroll down here, raw stats, orb changing, damage reduction. Again, support, 150% there when attacking, and then we get to this point here. So at 24 key, you perform a guaranteed crit. We get the extra key per key sphere here again. So I really see this as absolutely no need to provide this Omega any crit either. Yeah, that just completely wipes that off the bank for us, which is great. It means we can use our hidden potential elsewhere. And then you can see throughout here, there is actually no additional supers whatsoever in this guy's kit other than for his entrance animation here. So that definitely leads me to be wanting to put a lot of additional on this Omega Shenron. You can see that that also does come into play because here, if you don't have the Inhuman Deeds Power Absorption GT bosses ally attacking in the same turn, you can also activate his domain using after having 5 or more attacks performed in battle. So by getting those additionals, you can work up to that, as well as that will also activate this part of his passive skill as well. So I'm thinking a very heavy additional build complemented by some raw dodging is going to be really effective. But again, we'll jump across in game and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here we are back in game, and for this one we're going to be using the physical Buhan as our dummy unit, and bottom right hand path the exact same as Gogeta. So we've got the 2 additional attack nodes as well as the 2 dodge, and then in the top left hand path, instead of going with the 2 dodge, we're actually going with the 2 additional and the 1 dodge. So that's going to give us 17 additional thanks to the physical unit hidden potential right here, and 9 dodge there. Much like Gogeta, I would be going with the raw defense for this physical Omega. The fact that he's got the damage reduction, the raw defense is just going to make that even better. For his skill orbs in silver, it'll be waiting to see what we do get from the special battles event, but something with a very heavy dodge focus, additional focus is going to be really impactful. I think that extra defense on his super is going to be really, really important for him. And then as we go into the gold skill orb, I think the fact of raw defense, I know we would be adding on a little bit of extra dodge potentially, but really, even if it was a 5 dodge, that would get this build up to 14 dodge, which isn't the craziest amount. It could certainly save you on a super, but I don't think it's to the point where it's really going to sabotage you getting parts of his passive activated there. So I think that's what I'm looking at for the physical Omega, and probably going to be the most effective method there. So then the final unit that we do have here is the new STR Pan. Looks to be probably the best banner unit we've ever gotten in the game. She is insanely busted and on Gogeta's team, she's just going to make all of the units look even better, which is, yeah, honestly, just hard to believe at this point. So with her on super attack effect, you've got her 30% defense, but the most important thing is allies defense 20% for 2 turns. That is so crazy overpowered. And yeah, it's going to make you want to get as many additionals as humanly possible. She's also got the 50% chance to crit right there. She has the scatter effect, which means that dodge is going to be very impactful there. She launches 2 additionals after receiving an attack, which has 50% chance of becoming a super. As the second attacker, she launches 2 additional attacks, each of which has a 70% chance to attack, and that's from her second entry, not her as a second attacker. So on the second turn that she appears, she can potentially perform 6 super attacks, which is really, really crazy. You've also got that guaranteed crit there. So as a floating support class unit, as well as being an orb changer, I would just be building her with quite literally full dodge, as much dodge as you can humanly give her, and then putting all of the rest into additional. What that's going to do is allow for you to potentially proc this pretty regularly, because you are going to be able to rock her in where is it? I've just lost it. after receiving that first attack. She has this permanently, so as long as you're rocking her, you can get her the potential quad super. So you're going to have 3 chances to proc. So if you can get her up to between 12 and 15 additional, that's going to give her a sort of 25 to 30% chance to proc multiple times. And I think that's sort of high enough for that to appear pretty regularly there. So I didn't mock up a hidden potential build for her just because, yeah, I think full dodge, and if you can get to 12 additional, 15 additional, you'll be looking pretty good. So let me know your thoughts on the 3 hidden potential builds and how you're going to be building your units. Yeah, feel free to disagree and let me know why in the comments. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep up with the content. Hopefully I'll catch you all on the next video.